Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be answering a frequently asked question from viewers just like yourself. A lot of people want to know what Garmin unit they should buy for Panoptix LiveScope. And you know, it's a question that I get all the time, and I'm actually surprised that I haven't answered it with a video like this in the past. But we're going to talk about, you know, some of the units that I have used over the last 5 or 6 years working with bassboatelectronics.com. I've been working with Jason over there for those since my rookie season on the FLW Tour in 2019. So I guess that's like 5 years ago. And so I've got to use a lot of the different units that he offers on his website and also in the brick and mortar store. Now, I will say, I'm not the expert at all the little details about every single unit, what they offer, what they do. A little bit of backstory on how I use my Garmin units is I've got all 3 different brands on my boat. I've got a Garmin unit just for Panoptix LiveScope on the bow. I've got no other Garmin unit that it's connected to, and so it's just for Panoptix, okay? And then I've also got a Humminbird at the bow and a Humminbird at the console. The bow one is for 360 only. The console one is for mapping and also mega imaging and things like that. And then I've also got a pair of Lowrance HDF Live Pros that are linked together and are for mapping, and they're my core Sonar unit. So I use them for side scan, down scan, 2D sonar, all that stuff. But as you can see, the Garmin is kind of the odd man out. I use it just for Panoptix LiveScope, and that's what I really like about it. But that being said, the reason why I mentioned that is that because I only use it for Panoptix LiveScope, I can't speak upon all the other features of the Garmin units. I really haven't used the side scan much or their side view much. I obviously have used the Navionics mapping that they include quite a bit because I'm sponsored by Navionics and I use them on all my other units. But I don't know a lot about the other features of these units, but I can talk on what I like about the units that I've used with Panoptix LiveScope, because I've used, I think, 3 or 4 different units. The first thing that I need to mention, okay, is if you're looking to get into using Panoptix LiveScope, you really have to, number one, ask yourself, what kind of budget you're looking into, and whether or not you're going to be using this this unit as a just Panoptix LiveScope as I use, or are you going to be splitting up the screen, doing mapping or some other sonar application? You need to ask yourself that question, because in my humble opinion, I believe that if you're looking for the best LiveScope, experience, you need to have a screen that is either designated just for Panoptix LiveScope, or you have to get a big enough unit to be able to still have a fraction of that screen that is big enough to see all the little details that Panoptix LiveScope offers, okay? So screen size to me is really, really important, especially if you want to break up that screen and have multiple screens. Honestly, a lot of people ask this, and I know that everybody's on a budget and they want to save some money. I do recommend having a designated Panoptix LiveScope screen. It's such an incredible tool, and if you're going to buy into this technology, it really pays off to have a unit that just is utilized for that technology, so you can see all the little details and you're not missing anything, because it is so awesome. I would say, I've used 9-inch units, I've used 10-inch units, and I've used 12-inch units on my boats over the last several years. And to be quite honest, obviously the 12-inch unit is my favorite, but 9-inch and 10-inch units are not bad as long as you're designating it solely for Panoptix LiveScope, okay? I'd say a 10-inch unit is actually pretty pretty darn good. If you can afford the 12-inch unit, definitely go up in size. But I guess the moral of the story here is go for the biggest screen that you possibly can get, so you can utilize all the details that you get with Panoptix. And also on that note, let's talk about the different transducer options, okay? Before I used the LVS32 for years. That is a great transducer, but it's not the best. The best, and I highly suggest you get the best when it comes to this technology, because it's evolving very quickly and you don't want to be left in the dust. They have the new LVS34 transducer. Okay, so the LVS34 has better target separation, clearer image overall. You don't get as much interference and those like phantom trees, as they call it. There's a lot of there's a lot of things that aren't really down there in the water that you will see on the screen with the LVS32 versus the LVS34. And of course, a lot of the clarity issues that you experience also has to do with how your boat is rigged and the power supply and all that stuff. So make sure that you have a good, knowledgeable person installing this type of stuff. Obviously, I'm recommending BassBoatElectronics.com. Those guys know how to do it definitely very well, but whoever you have do it, make sure that they do it correctly, because even the LVS34 transducer, if it's rigged wrong, you're going to have some interference possibly. But definitely suggest going to the LVS34 if you're getting into it, because the target separation, the clarity of the screen, you can see so much more with it. You can see your bait out further. So I can actually cast a regular size bait, say a chatterbait size bait, out to 110 feet of water or 110 feet out and still be able to see it. While opposed, or on the other side, you've got the LVS34 or 32, where I could probably only see it out to 60, 70 feet realistically. So you can see that there's a huge difference as far as the overall capability of the new LVS34. So I definitely suggest that transducer. All right, so let's get into specific units that you might be interested in for Panoptix LiveScope. So really, I've got two different types of models, and you can choose this size screen that you like, that I've really liked over the years, okay? And the first one is actually the least expensive one, and it actually may be my overall favorite for Panoptix LiveScope, because of its simplicity, the speed. I love the screen. There's a lot that I love about this. But the only thing that is kind of a negative is the fact that you don't have a touchscreen. But my feeling on it is that you don't need a touchscreen if you're not going to be switching between the screens. So if you're keeping on Panoptix LiveScope, you might not need touchscreen. But that unit, or that series, is the GPS map. I use the 1022 and the 1222 units, which BassBoatElectronics.com, they've got some great bundles offered for these two units. And these units, again, not touchscreen. They've got this great key, very responsive keyed feature on the side, so it's really, really easy. In fact, I actually like it better as far as the ease of use for changing the range and the depth range with just the little knob that's included. So if you're looking for a unit that is less expensive, you can actually get the bundle, so the transducer, the module, the unit, for cheaper or around the same price as the other unit that I'm going to be talking about. That's just the head unit. So it's a good way to get started and have a really good unit and that supports LiveScope Plus, without breaking the bank. So the 1022 and the 1222 GPS map series, those are great units. Those have actually been some of my favorites. Recently, though, if you want to get like the best of the best and you have that touchscreen function, recently I've started using the GPS map 8612 is the one that I've got on my boat right now. It's a touchscreen. It is the top of the line Garmin unit. It has a great screen on it, very, very good clarity. You can see it in the sun very well. Very good responsive screen, touchscreen. And I feel like it has a good fast processor, which the GPS map, you know, the 1022 and the 1222, also great processing speed. And I think that those aren't bogged down by, you know, the touchscreen function, but the 8612 definitely is a very fast unit. I haven't had any issues with it at all. It definitely is very streamlined. There's no like buttons on the side or anything. It's just all touchscreen. And so this is a really, really good unit that I really do enjoy. Now I'm still on the fence because I really did like the keyed function on the 1022 and the 1222. But you know, I also really do like the screen on the 8612. But is it a big enough difference to want to choose, you know, the 8612 over the 1022 or 1222? And I say the 8612, they also come in a 10-inch unit as well, so I should mention that. But to me, I would, everybody wants the touchscreen, but to me, I really, really do prefer the keyed GPS map series. I think that those are great units. So those are the two different units that I've used a lot and really do like. Again, top of the line 8612, and then you've got the ones that are a little bit more value priced that are keyed, not touchscreen, which are the GPS map 1022 and 1222. So anyways, guys, I'm going to be including some links to those bundles and those units that I talked about in this video. Again, you know, there's a lot of different Garmin units out there, which is probably why people ask me this question a lot, is because there's a lot to choose from in their product line, and it does get a little bit overwhelming. You know, I get overwhelmed kind of looking at the different units and the nomenclature that Garmin has. It's very, very different than some of the other brands out there. But those are definitely my favorites, so I'm going to be including those links in the description below. But anyways, guys, if you have any more questions about Panoptix LiveScope, electronics in general, please let me know. And if it's more technical stuff, or when it comes to all the little details as far as features and stuff, you've got to check out bassboatelectronics.com. Those guys are the best in the business, and they know their stuff, and they're going to get you dialed in with exactly what you want, nothing more, nothing less. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, trust the process, and I'm going to see you out on the water. Take care.